Heritage, and this is Positivity in Practice. I am still talking about the real estate myths based on this new NAR settlement. And I think right now, the last one that I want to talk to you about, although I think that more will be coming as I continue to hear clients and people say things to me that are not true. And I'm totally open, and I would love nothing more than for you to comment on this and ask questions if you have some questions about what is going on, or maybe something that you've heard so that I can respond to it. But home buyers will save money because of this new way that we're doing things. I've had multiple people say, so what is the benefit in the end? And the truth is, I don't know. I guess the benefit in the end is that we may now be holding real estate agents accountable for the things that they always should have been doing in the first place. But my biggest concern in this is that if sellers say, I am no longer going to compensate a buyer's agent, then we have a major issue, in my opinion, because in this country right now, or let's just talk about Ottawa County. So last I looked, average dollar sale was hovering around $425,000. That was our average of a home sale in Ottawa County. So now we have $425,000 that you have to pay in purchase price. Let's say that you qualify for a FHA or a conventional, 5% down loan, which means that you may be paying PMI, which is private mortgage insurance. So now we need another $20,000 in a down payment. Then you're also going to need roughly 3% in closing costs. So there's another $12,000 to $13,000. So now we've got $30,000, $40,000 that's coming out of your pocket. And now the seller says, well, I'm not going to compensate your real estate agent, but you've got a buyer's agency agreement that's signed at 3%. So now you need to come out of pocket another $12,000, or let's say your agent is willing to do the work for you for 2%. $10,000 or $8,000. So there are tens of thousands of dollars that are now going to be part of purchasing a house on these first-time home buyers. It is bananas to me to see how unaffordable housing has become in general in the United States of America, but people will talk about it all the time in Northwest Ottawa County and in Ottawa County because it's just where I am. And then I look at some other places where if you were in like Los Angeles or you're in some places in Chicago where the average dollar sale is $600,000-$700,000. So we are on a national average, we are still affordable. However, how are you supposed to pay for a $400,000 mortgage if you are making $60,000 a year? I'm concerned when I look at this and think about who it really helped. I mean, I know attorneys made a lot of money, a lot of money. You could look it up, at the last time that I heard, the plaintiffs inside of the cases, I think were making $100 or something like that a piece. But I've yet to really figure out how this benefits home buyers especially. If home buyers are forced to pay their buyer's agency commissions, and I do not believe for 1 minute that real estate agents should work for free. I have been doing this job for a really long time, and I work really hard, and I negotiate really well, and I save my clients money on the buyer side, and I make my clients money on the sell side by pricing things in the right way and making sure that there's a marketing package out there and blah, 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 all of the things that you do to be a professional inside of your job. But affordable housing will always be something that I'm incredibly passionate about, because when I left Allendale Public Schools and I was making, I don't know, something just over $40,000 a year, and then I hear that a new teacher in Grand Haven Public Schools is making less than $60,000 a year. And I think about the fact that I have been out of education for, I don't know, 20 years or something like that. And we have only elevated that pay stat by $15,000. Yet I bought my first house for, I think, $175,000. And that same house is worth $425,000 now, $450,000 now. This doesn't math. Like, the math doesn't math. And then what I'm seeing too is buyer's agents who are new or newer helping these people who are first-time home buyers, and agents who have been in the industry for 20 years. Either people think that they don't want to help first-time home buyers, or first-time home buyers are going to their friends who might not have as much experience in negotiation. And so I'm sad because I feel like the people with the most experience should be helping these first-time home buyers to be able to navigate this really complicated and difficult situation. So if you are a first-time home buyer and you are getting into a buyer's agency relationship, it is paramount that you ask all of the questions of your loan officer and of your real estate agent and how this is going to work. Because your available cash, we want to be going into the places where it matters the most. And we also want to make sure that the available cash works with your buyer's agency agreement if the seller's not offering compensation, with your down payment, with your closing costs. We've got to really make sure that the math before you're under contract, because it doesn't matter what you pay if you don't get what you want. And it also doesn't matter how much you can afford if in the end, so think high level, I can afford a house that's $500,000. That's great. The bank will give me $500,000. But when I think about the actual word affordability, I want to look at what is my monthly payment and then how does that impact my life. That's where the statement house poor or the idea of house poor comes up. We don't want to be in a situation where you can get the mortgage, but in the end, it constrains you, or you have so much constraint on your budget because of this monthly payment that you can't live your life in the way you want to live your life. That is actually a relationship between a client, a loan officer, and a real estate agent, and you deserve to have somebody with experience math for you before it's too late and you are in a situation where you now have a massive payment and maybe you have an older roof, or you have an older furnace, or you have an older air conditioner, or you've got something major going on inside of your house, and now it's become a burden instead of a blessing. Talking to you about the new myths that are in real estate and all of these changes that are happening in our industry. If you have questions about anything that I said today, or I can be if I can be of value to you in any way, please leave a comment. I'd love to help.